I drew that funky little stick guy. What else did we talk about on night one? Yes? Depending on how big you are. One of us, it fit really good, right? Somebody was really comfortable in them. They were sitting here. Who was it?
Oh,
You?
me?
No, it wasn't a girl.
It was me. The thing of my back, but then you went on my back.
Yeah, maybe it was you. Is it comfy to you? It fits right here. Yeah, it was. It was Ashley.
That was my back.
Ashley's like, what's wrong with these chairs? They're great. Because it's right where it needs to be for her.
Hi. Perfect.
I wanted to say the lumbar part we talked about helped me in the other class.
Did
So I was
it?
like, hey, lumbar.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, good. All right. So we started out talking about ergonomics because that's very important to me. And remember, I did warn you that that would be a big test question. In fact, it's 25% of tonight's quiz is related to that. Okay, what else did we talk about? The first night we got on the computer, and what did we do?
GUIs,
We talked about GUIs, and what is a GUI?
graphical user interface.
Yes, very good. We talked about how we can click on pictures now. We don't have to know specific commands and type commands in. We're able to click on pictures. Really what we've been talking about the first night and then carried over to last class was the Windows 7. And what type of software is Windows 7?
Operating system.
Operating system, awesome. And we're going to finish up with Windows 7 operating system tonight, quickly, to get on to some other things. Good, so we talked about the Windows 7 operating system. We talked about, what was the name of that little program that's in the Windows 7 operating system that we use to manage our files? Close. I know. Remember? I know this. I really tell you.
Wow, okay.
Remember, I drew it right here. And I compared it to another one that people often get confused because they end in the same word. And then I said, no, it's not this one.
Windows Explorer.
Windows Explorer. Windows Explorer. High five for taking notes.
We can look at our
No, you can't. Well, I mean, for the review you can, not for the test. Yes, and that's a big deal because remember we said you cannot be a competent computer user if you don't know how to manage the documents, the files you're creating on the computer. Good. So then we poked around on Windows a little bit. We're going to look some more tonight on desktop, but we learned how to, or at least reviewed, most of you probably already knew, how to create folders, rename folders. We talked a little bit about the recycle bin. If you delete a file from the recycle bin, if you delete a file from your thumb drive, where does it go? It goes into cyberspace, right? Only files from what drive go to the recycle bin?
Oh.
The C drive, right? And only if they're set. Remember, these computers appear to be set to automatically delete, not. And can the FBI come back and find those files?
Yes.
Yes, they can, because they're not really deleted, right? So we talked a little bit about that. So we were really looking at the Windows 7 operating system. We spent quite a bit of time in Windows Explorer. We looked at different ways to look at the files, to look at the details about their size. And then we went into folder properties. And how did we get into folder and file properties? Right click, and then what? Properties. Right, so right click properties. We went in there and saw you could see how the size of it. And the file path, and what does the file path tell us?
Where everything.
Where it is, exactly right. So, we tracked down a file. I think we pulled up a file on the properties, and we tracked it down in Windows Explorer over here so you could see how they went mixed. All right, so that was the summation of our first 2 nights. Is there something important that I'm missing? For carpal tunnel during ergonomics, yep, very important. Not that carpal tunnel is important, but how to avoid it is important. Okie doke, then I'm going to ask you to turn off your monitors. You don't have to shut down your computers, but please do turn off your monitors. Put your books aside. Does everyone have a writing